I never in my wildest dreams imagined myself looking through this sub, let alone contributing to it. I am just going to unload here to put this into history for my own good, and to perhaps help others along the way. It's a very similar story to others that I have read, but maybe there's some uniqueness to my experience thus far. I'm going to lay it out in chunks of events that grew my suspicion and later confirmation. This is brand new, so forgive the ridiculously lengthy details. I put it all in here to document it for myself and to reveal the true situation through my words. The final confrontation was last night, and I did not sleep a wink. Disclaimer: this is the worst, most embarrassing thing I've ever experienced, so I have created a new ID to post it. My wife, 36F, and I, 34M, have our 7th wedding anniversary coming up in less than 2 weeks. We've been together for more than 10 years, with no history of fighting, separation, etc. Pure bliss for me. Laughs, family trips, growing businesses, yard projects, 2 beautiful young boys. It's been a blast. Here's the rundown. 1. The new job, boss, and the first weird night. This past year, my wife interviewed at a highly respected long-term care facility and was subsequently offered a high-up position by the guy who is now her boss. Since taking the job, she's talked very highly of this guy and his focus on family, success, and of course, how he believes in her ability to succeed at the company. Fast forward a few months, and there I sit, incredibly suspicious of some recent, out-of-character actions. While this new role brings in some out-of-office activities, golf, fundraisers, etc., some of the stuff just stunk of something. I wasn't suspecting anything in particular, but over time, my intuition was screaming that something is wrong with someone or something. There was a night in early June where I found myself pacing the house in terror that something happened to my wife while out for drinks and dinner with the coworkers after a golf tournament or something. At one point, she said she would be home in an hour. That came, and then another hour, and then a third hour. Her and I share our locations on our iPhones. Why? Because we have 2 little boys and figured it can't hurt to know each other's whereabouts. And her location was stuck in the same place, side of a busy road, nowhere near where she said she was going. Her phone kept going to voicemail. I thought she may have been in an accident. Finally, on the brink of calling the police, she calls me to say she's on her way home. I tell her how terrified I was, and she explained that her phone died and she was in a coworker's car without a charger. Weird. That had never happened before. She's never ever been out late and not checked in with me. I attributed it to the brand new job, new coworkers, and her efforts to fit into the social scene with this new role of hers. Her story did add up for the most part. The road where her last location, before the dead phone's location was shared, wound up being on the way to a restaurant they were supposedly at. Still, this disconnected behavior had never happened before with her. It was just so out of place. Fast forward a couple months, my wife has become obsessed with her workouts, her weight, wanting a bigger chest. Her morning routine in the bathroom has become longer and longer. Keep in mind, my wife is far more fit than your average gym goer. She has nothing to worry about. She's absolutely gorgeous. 2. Meeting him and the obscure tucked-away parking lot. A day came in early August where she invited her boss and some coworkers over to my house for some daytime drinks after a race they all ran together. I thought to myself, I finally get to meet this amazing boss that I hear so much about. They arrived, and that's when everything hit me. This guy, while much older than me, is handsome for his age, almost 60, but somehow incredibly awkward. Not once did he look me in the eye, and when I shook his hand, it was soaked with sweat. That's when my intuition screamed again, steering my suspicions toward him. He didn't stay long, and he didn't interact with my wife. He barely said a word to anyone, other than to ask me what high school I went to, while looking another direction. He just basically drank a beer and left. Following that, the last coworker to stay winds up inviting his GF and her daughter over. After a bunch of drinks, my wife was very convincing to invite them over for an impromptu dinner party. That all happened, and this guy and his GF left around 8 p.m. Now is the point where everything starts getting narrowed down. In the days leading up to this morning race with her coworkers, my wife had been talking about getting drinks with her friend later that night to celebrate a birthday. She was back and forth with wanting to go. And then when her coworker left for the day, she decided that she was in fact going to go. She went upstairs, dolled herself up, and came down looking awesome. She kissed me goodbye and left for a bar on the east side of town. Her entire demeanor was incredibly awkward, and I had to ask, "Are you okay to drive?" She said, "Yes, I really only had two throughout the day. I am not going to be out too late." I don't remember for sure, but I think she may have even asked me to wait up for her. I put on a movie or something and chilled out. Less than an hour went by, and I thought it was weird that she never texted me to let me know that she got there. Out comes the old Apple location. I pulled up her location to see she made it okay. And to my utter confusion, her location was showing at work. Not exactly the office she works in, but a building tucked away across the street from her main building. One that I know she's never mentioned. Working in. It took some time to figure out where this was exactly, but there was no question. My thoughts, did she turn around? Is she trying to make a call? What is she doing there? Why was I so suspicious of her boss this morning? Why did she decide to go back out? That's not like her. Why is she there? There is no logical reason for her to have driven west and parked at work. She said she's meeting a group for drinks on the east side of town, completely unrelated to any of her coworkers. She comes home not long after, awkwardly over-smiling as she greets me on the couch. She was gone for a total of an hour, max. I'm still not completely sure what's going on. She keeps telling me how much she loves me. She hops on top of me and we make love. For a split second during this, I actually thought to myself, is it possible that she was just with someone else and less than 10 minutes ago? No way. I convinced myself that she was out of sorts and parked in that lot to make a call or something. Dumb, I know. 3. The kid's new friend. Over the next few weeks into July, things seem fine, and I somehow put number 2 above in the back of my mind. Our sons have been going to summer camp, surprisingly enough, on the campus where she works. Some intense issues at her job either required me to pick up kids, or she would have her coworkers, guess who, watch them for a few minutes. I learned of the many times that this boss of hers had my kids in his office, giving them snacks and letting them play on his computer. They actually got to know him. She mentioned how much she loved the support of this new team of hers. 4. The hotel. We take a week to go away to the beach with my wife's family. We spend every day on the beach. My wife and I took the kids on bike rides. It was pretty good. We both jumped back into a hectic work week, starting off with my wife asking if I can pick up the kids midweek so that she can go out with her coworkers. I was kind of thrown off by this because it was our eldest son's first day of kindergarten, and we had just got back from vacation. I thought it really weird that she would put a work outing over being with her son after his school on his first day. She said that one of her coworkers was having a tough time in the divorce and wanted to organize a little golf outing followed by dinner and drinks to catch the first preseason football game. What I thought to be really weird was that during the week we were at the beach, this plan also included her female coworker grabbing a hotel because she lives far away. She said that she was thinking about catching up with her there before golf because of the rough stuff she was going through. I think this is really strange, but keep my thoughts inside. I agreed to pick up our kids so she can do this. Now, keep in mind, I pick my kids up at an aftercare program at my wife's workplace. I don't mind getting them, but this was a little strange since they're at her work and within a few minutes from our house. I work 40 minutes away, so it was a little inconvenient given that I would have to leave my business early to get the kids on our first week back. The day comes. We take pictures in the morning for my son's first day of kindergarten. Together. We walk him down together. She's rushing because she doesn't want to be late. I have a video of this on my phone, actually. We have been talking about this day for the entire end of preschool and throughout the summer.
Here it is, and my wife is being weird, not herself. We see him walk into his class, and I can barely keep up with my wife on the walk back to our house. She's like this normally, but I thought she would take exception to her son's first day. We got back, and she was in her car and off to work, seemingly frantic. Later in the day, I barely get out of my business in time to be on time for the 45-minute drive to get the kids. There's a temporary road shut down for construction. Then there's heavy, unusual traffic on the highway. I'm running late. Everything is against me. As I sit in traffic, my mind starts to race. This makes no sense. Why would she have me get the kids? It was our eldest son's first day of school. Why is she out tonight? Doesn't she want to see him and be together? I panic because this is also our son's first day at the aftercare program, and I know I'm going to be late at this point. I call